Shabbat Shalom. This is Rabbi Max Edwards from Temple B'nai Abraham in Livingston with this week's bit of Torah. There's much talk these days about how big our Jewish tent should be. Where do our communities stretch, and what are our limits? What is within the bounds, and what's just beyond the pale? Each network we're a part of will make these decisions for themselves, but I want to look at a spiritual framing for thinking about these difficult questions of community, cohesion, and continuity. In Parshat Shlach, in the middle of the book of Numbers, God instructs Moses to send 12 scouts into the land of Israel in order to see the state of the land. How is the soil? How are the people? How is the produce? The scouts return to Moses after 40 days with news of what they saw. All of the scouts, aside from Caleb and Joshua, report. It's a good land. It flows with milk and honey. But the people who currently occupy the land are far too strong, and we can't possibly overcome them. These scouts spread word of what they saw to the rest of the Israelites. And if we know anything about how rumors run, once word gets out, there was little room to scale back their report. As the scouts' report continued to grow out of hand, the Israelites started rebelling against God and Moshe, threatening to stone him and Aaron in an open rebellion. Now we can debate the legitimacy of the scouts' report and even how they delivered it, but I want us to see what happens next. God sees what's happening and gives Moshe a new plan. I'll strike down this people and disown them, and I will make of you a nation far numerous than they. Not a bad deal for Moses. But Moses responds to this offer by appealing to God's name. If you do this thing, do you want to be known as the God who brought the people Israel out of Egypt only to kill them off in the desert? Remember, you are a compassionate God. Forgive these people. Moses positions himself in this dialogue between God and the people. Despite their efforts to overthrow his own leadership, they are still B'nai Yisrael. They are still the people of Israel. The scouts don't get off scot-free. They're punished according to their act, but they never lose their identity. And Moses makes sure to stand up for who they are, even if it is outside of his own tent. Our Jewish world today has many tents, some reaching around the entire world, some just reaching around our own block. It is the right of any individual and any organization to decide on the tent's limits and the tent's reach. But Moses' actions remind us that despite the actions of other Jews, even when Moses removes them from his own tent, he never dissolves their identity. His gift was to always see them as mishpacha, as family, as hard as that might have been. To stand up for God, to stand up to God for the sake of his kin, even if they might not have done the same for him. Shabbat Shalom.